Welcome to the first of a four-part series entitled All About MCAT. We're planning to bring you a series of shows that will describe various aspects of Missoula Community Access Television. We're going to talk about issues facing public access today in a kind of general way across the nation and in a very specific way in Missoula, Montana. This is the first show that we're going to do. It's called The Basics. What we're hoping to do in this show is show you some of the programs that have been made at this Missoula Community Access Television Center in the last 10 years and go over some of the things in our Access Television Handbook that gets people started making programs right here in Missoula.
So as you can see here, this is our 24th birthday. We have a lot of great programs for the last so many years. That, welcome to Wake Up Missoula. This show's only been going on for 2 months, and MCAT's been going on for 24 years as of yesterday, which was Earth Day also, but I think MCAT came before Earth Day. So,
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Which, the celebration of Earth Day, not necessarily Earth's birthday or something like that. I don't know how it really works, but MCAT's been around for a long time. Just got to say, I almost have an exact estimate on how many programs we've actually provided. And let's just say they're well over 7,000 programs from 24 years of MCAT.
That's a lot.
And that's not counting the government stuff. That's completely all public access.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah.
It's been great.
We have a lot of stuff going on today. I'm going to get through my segment as soon as possible. That'll give Noelle plenty of time to talk about all her events today. And we have two guests today. We have a phoner with Josh. You're going to be interviewing who?
Ginny Miriam. And dog laws, dog leash laws, and also it's going to be all about dog poop.
Oh, dog poop. That sounds very interesting.
Picking up your waste.
Yep.
It's important.
All right, and also I have a guest coming on, and we'll all grill her about what's going on in elections. She's watching right now. I just want her to feel nervous. That's Shyra Scott. She's supervisor of recording and elections, and she's going to be talking about elections, discrepancies that people may have about elections, because a lot of it's the mail-in ballots that we'll be sending out. But for right now, we only have one program. I want to talk about Meg's, and then I'm going to be done talking about my stuff, and then I'll just basically make sarcastic comments while you guys are doing your stuff.
Oh, great.
That sounds great, Scott.
Can't wait.
All right, so what we have here is the Mike and Maybelle Hardy Fire Management Lecture, and the fire leader, manager, and policymaker Tom Zimmerman speaks on wildland fire management. Are we doing enough? Are we? Are we?
We'll see. Let's watch this clip.
We've also seen that our social, economic, and professional perspectives play an important role in what we do and how we manage fires and how fires can be managed. And early on, all these perspectives were fairly consistent that less fire was better.
And this is Tom Zimmerman on Wildland Fire Management, Are We Doing Enough? And it's at 8 p.m. Wednesday night, which is tonight, the 23rd. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say, but we have a lot of great programs that we have. We have big data, stuff that we're rerunning from the previous week that I was talking about. Again, the Creative Cat Film Contest is completely done. I know I'd never talk about it again, but I just want to talk about it. We got a good amount of entries.
How many entries did we get?
I think we got over 15 for sure.
Awesome.
Wow.
If not more. I'm not sure. That's what I heard at the latest thing. But, people always send at the last minute.
Yep.
Yeah.
But, of course, the Western Montana High School Film Festival is all over. Most of the submissions were from Sentinel.
Oh, very good, Sentinel.
Okay. All right, so anyways, Noelle has a lot of stuff she wants to talk about.
Yeah.
Also, I'll shut up.
So today, I'm going to start with weather. It is currently 36 degrees, a little chilly out there. And it pretty much just looks like it's going to be a bunch of snow for the rest of the week. Today, rain and snow are likely, high of 48 degrees. Snow showers will be likely before noon, and rain showers are likely. It'll be cloudy with a high near 48. Gusts up to 29 miles per hour. Thursday, it looks like it's supposed to be 70% chance of rain and high of 57 and showers likely. And the same for the weekend. It's just going to be rainy all weekend. So.
And if you know Missoula weather, you know that it looks fine now. Yeah. But it probably is going to rain.
It'll change in 5 minutes.
It usually
does.
Yeah.
4 seasons in one day.
That's
what they like to say, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Kind of makes it hard to go to that hotel, the Four Seasons.
Oh, it does.
Anyways, not to bash or promote or not to do anything about that. Something said on Wake Up Missoula should not represent the city of Missoula, MCAT.
Charter Communications.
Yep. So today at the Top Hat Lounge, there are Prairie Songs, which is a celebration of nature and writing. This is at 6 p.m. It is a free show, and Canvas Magazine hosts Prairie Songs, a free reading event celebrating nature and writing here in Western Montana. Local writers Cheryl Nothey, Josh Slotnick, Bryce Andrews, Richard Manning, David James Duncan, Annick Smith, Phil Condon, and Janice Ray will share stories about beauty, loss, and joy that define our relationship and the places we love. So that is tonight at the Top at 6 p.m. And also tonight at the Roxy Theater is Green Movie Night at the Roxy. And the movie is The Greening of Southie. The Greening of Southie is a feature documentary about Boston's first residential green building and the skeptical crew who was asked to build it. But Boston steel-toed union workers weren't sure they like it, and when things on the building start to go wrong, the young developer has to keep the project from unraveling. Tickets for adults are $7, students and seniors are $6, and children are $5. And so I've got the trailer right here. I'm going to show that to you guys now.
Welcome to Southie. Thank you for coming to our town. Clean up our streets and get the out of here. Oh!
I know when I started here, that foreman here says, "You don't understand, this is a green building." You're absolutely right, I don't.
And everybody said green building. What do you mean, they're gonna paint this green? Actually, this building, to my knowledge, will be the first residential green building in Boston.
If you believe in it and you really take hold of it, that's what's gonna help it grow.
This environment stuff that everybody's all geared up to save the earth.
It never really come across my mind to give the environment a really good deep study.
I'd be able to tell my grandkids, Grandpa worked on the first green building, and maybe by the time, my grandkids are, if they work in this trade, they might be, every building might be a green building. We've ruined the environment, so why can't we help fix it?
That is tonight at the Roxy at 6 p.m. Yeah.
That looks really cool.
I know. I think it'll be a really neat documentary. Yeah. Okay, so then the following events are for Thursday. There is a climate change program lecture series at at Swan Ecosystem Center at 4 p.m. This is featuring Bob Kane, research ecologist with the USDA Forest Service and Rocky Mountain Research Station, and Barry Ballenbacher, regional silviculturist with the USDA Forest Service Northern Region. This presentation will describe some of the historical conditions, likely departure from these conditions, and possible approaches to managing western Montana landscapes in the face of climate change. The talk will shed light on possible changes to vegetation, fuels, and fire on the landscapes of northwestern Montana. That is at 4 p.m., Swan Ecosystem Center, for free. Next up, tomorrow night, 10 Skip Stone is playing a dinner show at the Top Hat. This is at 7 p.m. It's free music, and this is a audio clip from one of their songs, Here Comes Hindsight.
Don't step on my microphone. Don't you go away now. Don't you want to take a drive through the woods? Way too bad.
So these guys will be at the Top Hat tomorrow night for the dinner show. And that'll probably be a really great thing to listen to while you eat dinner.
So where they're going to be again? Because I don't...
Top Hat.
Top Hat?
Top Hat, 7 p.m. dinner
Tonight
show.
or-
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night?
Yep,
Okay.
yep. Yeah, these are all for Thursday. All of these events are for Thursday. And then also, tomorrow night, Green Star and Shakewell are playing the Top Hat Lounge at 10 p.m. So after you attend the dinner show, go check out Shakewell and Green Star. Yeah, so this is 10 p.m. 21 plus, free show. This is an audio clip from Green Star's Try Me. So this is Try Me by Green Star, and they'll be playing with Shakewell tomorrow night at the Top Hat Lounge. And then the next event, they'll be playing with Shakewell, so I've got an audio clip from Shakewell. This is Sugar Mama.
How many of y'all want a sugar mama in your life? Or a sugar daddy? You want one?
So this is Sugar Mom?
Yep, Sugar Mama by Shakewell. They'll be playing with Green Star tomorrow.
Take it for a ride. I'll make it just for fun.
Yeah, it's always nice to, get some art.
Yeah.
Go around. Let's just keep it playing while we're talking about.
Yeah.
There's a lot of events going on. What would you say is probably one of the most to look forward to in your case?
I would say Shakewell.
Yeah, Shakewell's a good performer.
They're a really good band. Yeah, they always perform great. Tulane has got a great voice and a lot of good energy, and just the whole band in general. Like, they're just great. They put on a great show every time.
Yeah. Back when I was in college, the big band was Kung Fu Congress.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like large amounts of kids. It was basically like the Wu-Tang Clan of funk in Missoula.
Yeah.
Because it's like 50 different college students would just circulate, and there'd only be like one person who was there like every single time.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, I like Kung Fu Congress. I've been to a lot of their shows. So yeah, so
And
that's
Josh,
those
you
are
have
all-
your guest?
Nope, she didn't pick up the phone, so.
Okay, let's just skip to city council, and then
Yeah.
if she calls, then we can take a break from there, and I will get your city council ready.
All right.
All right.
Good.
And it's in order, right?
Yep, it's ready
All right.
to go.
Should I just switch
yeah,
it?
let's
I'll
just
switch
swap it up.
Sorry about my sweaty ears.
That's okay.
Gross.
We could have just kept the headphones or something like that.
No worries, no worries. At any rate, so City Council was pretty interesting last night. They talked a lot about broadband and the infrastructure of broadband in the city of Missoula and how we need to improve it in order to make our city up to date and more techno savvy and attract more technology
it's,
companies. Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, like you said, a commercial investment. It's like we pay for more broadband and we invite more commercial to Missoula.
Yeah, and that's true. And a big part of it was they're talking about how broadband improves small and medium-sized businesses, and they said that like 72% of our GDP in Missoula is made out of small and medium businesses. So we rely a lot on our small and medium businesses, and they rely on good internet access. So at any rate, I'll show you I'll show you a clip from last night's meeting. Actually, before I do that, I think Ginny Miriam. Yeah.
That's called a tease, if you're wondering.
Hi, this is Josh.
Hey, Josh. This is Jenny. I'm sorry I missed you.
Oh, that's okay, Ginny. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. I just timed it absolutely perfectly wrong. I was dropping my car off at Romer's.
Oh.
Standing at the counter trying to fish my phone out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, no worries, no worries. Well, you're on the show right now, so tell us what are you talking about this morning about dog laws?
I want to just talk a little bit about dog laws this morning because we do in the spring. The weather turns and instantly everybody's out in our parks with their dogs and walking on the riverfront trail, and we do a little bit of increased enforcement. Missoula City-County Animal Control is a joint city-county agency, department of the city and the county, and you'll see them, our officers, out in parks around the city, talking to people and likely writing some tickets. A lot of people don't understand that dogs need to be on leashes in all city parks at all times, and also that people need to pick up dog waste. Most of our parks have mutt mitt dispensers where you can pull the plastic bag out and just easily pick it up and put it in the trash. We have those laws to help people get along together in parks so that parks are enjoyed by everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And where are some of the biggest which parks have the biggest problem with this?
Well, I think I've heard complaints from Bonner Park in the university area, lots of complaints from Pineview Park, Playfair Park, things. I think that those kind of conflicts occur in all the parks. One of the great things about Missoula is that we have 3 off-leash dog parks. One of them is at Jacobs Island near the university on the river. Another one's at Fort Missoula, and another one is at Playfair Park. Part of the park there is fenced off. Dogs are also welcome to be off-leash on city conservation lands, like Waterworks Hill. They need to be under voice restraint.
Okay, so tell me, what are you guys doing about this problem?
Every spring, we do some increased enforcement, and that's going on right now, where officers are concentrating on being present in city parks more than they normally would be. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing a little press event in Pineview Park and getting the word out that way too. We have a class of second graders from Rattlesnake School who wrote letters to the mayor and said, "Mayor Engen, we want you to do something about dog poop in our park by our school."
That's great.
We kind of use every avenue we possibly can just to remind people, and also to remind them that you can get a ticket.
Yes.
And find yourself in municipal court. But lots of people just simply don't know, and then once they find out, they're pretty good about it.
Absolutely. Well, Ginny, that sounds really great what you guys are doing. Anything else?
No, I think that's it. We encourage people to come out and enjoy city parks with their dogs, without their dogs. One of the things I think is really interesting is that Missoula County, the estimate is that approximately 30,000 dogs live in Missoula County.
Wow.
We are really a doggy place.
Dog
People love
friendly.
their dogs.
Yeah.
Talk about a doggy
very
dog
dog
world.
friendly, and a lot of opportunities to recreate outside with your dog. But that means we have to be even more careful about not being offensive to people who maybe don't love our dogs as much as we do.
Yes, this is true.
Right.
Great, Ginny. Well, thanks for being on the show, and we look forward to hearing from you or from someone else from the city next time.
You bet. Thank you, Josh. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Great, that was Ginny Miriam. Always a pleasure to have people from the city on our show to talk about what's going on. And
we're going to have a guest coming on pretty soon, just as soon as you talk about what happened on the...
Yeah, what happened in city council. So back to where I was. So basically they're talking about the broadband infrastructure. So I'll play a little clip from last night's city council meeting.
Or to expand the availability and to reduce the cost of infrastructure. I should also put in here, accelerate the pace of bringing more broadband into the community. One is developing comprehensive broadband standards that can actually be put into the city and the county land development code. And why we do that is because any time that you have a project going on, whether it's a road widening or a sewer project, there's an opportunity when the ground is open to potentially put in broadband infrastructure. And when I say broadband infrastructure, all I mean is basically pipe, about that big around. That only is a conduit that allows providers then to bring new fiber into the community, into areas where, of course, it's not been already installed. Streamlining the permitting process.
Okay.
We talked to the providers.
So that was just a basic explanation of what they're talking about. But here's something really interesting. They're talking about joint trenching agreement, the joint trenching agreement. So basically, every time the city goes to dig up the ground because of they're putting on a new sewer, they're making the road wider, why not, while they're doing so, put in broadband fiber?
The old kill two birds with one stone.
Exactly. So let's hear from that clip.
Third one, joint trenching agreements. This is a strategy that whenever your utility providers or broadband providers are opening the ground and digging trenches, or the city is doing that in potentially sewer or road widening projects, you coordinate with those other utilities and those other providers to put that infrastructure in, or at least to give them the opportunity to put it in. And conversely, they give you the opportunity to put it in whenever there's a trench that's open. And again, because most of the cost of broadband construction comes from actually digging that hole and digging that trench along the side of the road, if you can partner and actually bring that together, it'll help you reduce the cost of deployment, or help them reduce the cost of deployment by about 60 to 70%.
Great. So that was that clip. And here is a comment from one of the city council members about what will happen if we don't embrace better broadband infrastructure.
Education and adoption programs. So one of the key issues we found was,
I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Here it is. There we go.
It said if we do nothing, nothing changes, but I think you're making the case for if we do nothing, we're going to watch right before our eyes our ability to attract and retain and grow businesses and educate our kids with the most modern learning opportunities decay and worsen right before our eyes. So that's not nothing changes. That's things worsen over time is what I think that's the case you made.
I think you definitely would see that, because if we looked at a map of where education was 3 years ago to where it is today, we're using significantly more broadband capabilities. Online testing wasn't even around 3 or 4 years ago in most states. Now it's almost the standard in every state. So what do we look at three years in the future? We're going to see more of the same, and we're going to see it diverge more, right? We're going to see.
All right, so that was them talking about what happens if we don't embrace a better broadband infrastructure. And here is public comment. This is a guy who's talking about how much it currently costs to install broadband in the city of Missoula. So let's hear from him.
0 to 600 feet, the permit fee is $2,087 for us to build between 0 and 600 feet. From 600 to 2,400 feet, it's $3,068. For over 2,400 feet, it's $3,068 plus 39 cents a foot after that 2,400 feet. So let's put a scale scope to that. For me to put a 30 strands of fiber, which is less than my pinky, even iron shielded, for me to buy that is less than 39 cents a foot. So your permitting is doubling my cost to place that, not counting the construction, right? And the construction is the largest portion of that. And Jay's 100% right. When I have to bore underneath something, my costs double on top of that too, right? So as I'm going down through, there are huge opportunities that the city could do this. And by the way, we're doing a 13,000 foot build.
Okay, so that was some of the pricing that you see. It's astronomically expensive to put broadband in, and that's a problem. Affordability is what's going to help Missoula become a better connected city, so it needs to become more affordable. That's basically what they're saying. And here's the last comment that I'm going to play. It's from Jason Weiss, and he's just basically, Jason Weiner, I'm sorry. He's basically just giving his final word on what he thinks should be done here. So let's listen from Jason Weiner.
Discussion. I think my experience really is that we need to focus on the affordability. As a couple people said here, there are a lot of people, a lot of enterprises that fall into that bubble in the middle. There is not a lot of downward pressure on the price, and there is not a lot of upward pressure on the quality. There is at best a duopoly when we talk about any kind of service that can support multiple users over a day. And when you talk about something that's low latency and would offer you effective telepresence in another location, I just don't really think it's available to most businesses. If it's just a question of marketing, then by God, let's get some marketing going. But I live in that terracotta, and I pay for 40 by 5 DSL and 30 by 5 cable modem because I have to be up all the time, and I can't guarantee that one of them isn't going to go down any given day, and one of them does go down almost any given day. I'd love to find out what it would cost me to get something that would be ultra reliable, and I wonder if it would cost me less than both of those things together. And from what I've seen of the prices for fiber, it's not there. So I think there is absolutely room for us to go further in providing a very hospitable environment for people, and especially when it comes to children's access to the internet. School children don't pay for the internet connection, and their parents probably are discounting whatever complaints they have about the quality of what they're getting, and they're only ever going to need to be more connected into their school when they're not there. So I think it's really important for us to be looking at this as a piece of infrastructure, something that the community should be investing in order to ensure the well-being of the community.
Okay, enough about City Council. You can access meetings like this from the City Council website via their on-demand and agenda looking at. But today we got another city official talking about the elections. This is Shyra Scott.
It is, and I'm actually
my favorite last name.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because it's my first name.
Of course. And I'm actually with the county, Missoula County, and we run most of the elections for Missoula. We have a couple coming up. We have a school election, and it was a mail ballot election. Everyone should be seeing those come to their homes soon if they're registered voters. And then we have a primary election that's coming up in June, and that's a poll election. So those ballots will only come to you in the mail if you're registered as an absentee voter.
I've noticed that the popularity in mail-in ballots have increased over these last couple of years, was it? Because I remember years ago that everyone would have to go to polling places, every single time to do any kind of election whatsoever. And how has the trend evolved over the last couple of years in terms of mail-out ballots?
Sure. Well, most of our school elections are run just solely by mail-in ballots, or any sort of special elections. If you see one for your fire district or your community council, those are mail elections. So everyone receives a mail ballot for that. However, some people still like to go to the polls. So we do have the primary and general elections, or your municipal election, and those are poll elections where you can go and actually vote at your polling place. However, you do have the option, and here we have, I think on the screen, our little absentee list address confirmation. Some of you may have received those in the mail. And if you'd like to be on the absentee list, which means you'd also receive a mail ballot for the primary and general election, please sign up. If we're already on the absentee list, you receive one of those, but you can also come into our office or download a form online and sign up to receive your ballot by mail.
Great. Where can we find information on who is running?
If you go to MissoulaVotes.com, you can view sample ballots. I'll have them up this afternoon. They're not currently up for both the school and the primary election. You can see who's running and also what
levies.
Exactly.
Like we had Littman on Missoula Live, which is something we have on our YouTube page.
Votes.
Yeah.
Missoula Votes.
Tell us
Great.
something about
Thank you.
so tell us a little bit about some of these levies. What are the big ones?
Oh gosh, I know that the fire, and I'm not going to be able to pull them off the top of my
The
head.
special district,
Yes.
fire and public safety.
Yeah, I know a couple fire districts are running levies right now. Primarily, what's on the school ballot though are the trustees. That's mostly what you'll be seeing. And there's also a community council for Sealy Lake. Okay. What might be a little bit confusing for people this year is a couple of the schools have opted to run their own elections.
Oh, okay.
And so you may be receiving ballots from different locations. And our office can only receive the ballot that we sent out. So it's a little bit confusing. We can only answer questions on the ballot that we sent out. So if you receive in the mail something from, I believe, Hellgate's running a portion of theirs is going to be on their own ballot, and also Sealy Lake Elementary. So watch for those, because those will be directed to different locations. They'll be mailed back, not to the elections office. So if you drop them off with us, we'll send you somewhere else.
Yeah, okay.
So you're going to be here for the next couple of weeks, every Wednesday, so we can explain and try to clear up some discrepancies that people may have about it. And if you have any discrepancies, be sure to go onto their website as well. And you can also post comments to our Facebook page, Wake Up Missoula, and you can find us really easily. We'll be posting this online, so we'll be able to post, and everyone will be able to see all this stuff today. But we're basically out of time. So next week, we'll try to have some questions about what most people will have about these mail-in ballots.
Great, and just a quick plug, definitely go to MissoulaVotes.com if you have any questions regarding the election.
And what is that again?
It's MissoulaVotes.com.
Right.
There's also a My Voter page that's run by the Secretary of State, and you can download it onto your phone and track your ballot on that page, so that's very handy.
That is handy.
Very cool.
And this is the end of the show.
Yeah.
And thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
For Wake Up Missoula, I'm Scott Ramf.
I'm Noelle McLean.
And I'm Josh Many.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Thanks for